Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our Johnston Community College Closer Look podcast. Take note, we're calling this a podcast because we are the JCC Jaguars. I'm LaShondra White, your host for today's program, and we're so glad to have you join us today. We have an exciting program highlighting our Student Ambassadors program, but before we get started, I want to introduce our panelists for today. Joining us is Dr. David Johnson, our president here at JCC. We have John Parrish. Thanks for being here. We have John Parrish, president of the JCC Foundation Board of Directors. We have Will Wynn, our JCC Foundation Board of Directors and previous student ambassador.
Hello.
Miriam Amado Lopez with the Executive Committee of the JCC Alumni Association and previous student ambassador. Nickie Gregory, Advancement Data Analyst and Student Ambassador Advisor with the JCC Foundation. And Andria Davis and Hunter Bissette, representing our JCC student ambassadors.
Hey.
Hi. So before we get started, I want to encourage you to ask questions and share comments via our Facebook live feed. We will also rebroadcast this program at a later date. But first to start, Nickie, can you give us an overview of what the Ambassador Program is?
Sure. The Ambassador Program is a competitive annual scholarship opportunity that allows students who have demonstrated leadership skills, maybe in high school or in their first year at JCC, to become part of a group that will serve as leaders on campus. They will be liaisons between other students, faculty and staff, and even our community members. We give these ambassadors a chance to participate in campus events that we hope will allow them to enhance and refine their leadership skills. So that's the gist of the program.
Thank you. We're so glad to have this program here at JCC. And Dr. Johnson, you've been here for a while and you know all about student leadership and leadership on various levels. But can you tell us, as an administrator, what top level student leadership looks like?
Well, thank you, LaShondra. Yes, I've been here a while. I think you just called me old, but we are we're doing great here with our ambassador program. This is the first time that first institution I have been a part of that has had an ambassador program, and I loved it from the start. So I'm grateful for all those who have provided support and guidance to these student leaders. I don't have anything specific that I could call on in terms of what a top level student leader would look like, but there are several things that I look for and recognize in those. And one is engagement. You know, is the student active in student life, clubs, SGA, college events? Does he or she take initiative? You know, if you've heard the sayings, if you see something, say something, and help to do something about it. We are a community college, and so I look for community-minded people to serve as student leaders. And service is actually the key element in leadership, in my opinion. And so we strive to serve our community, which supports us so greatly. And then just being a scholar. Meeting the academic standards of your program, not just doing enough to get by, but showing that you are here to learn and to make a better way for yourself and your family. And then I guess maybe the last thing would be, and this would be for me and anybody, but casting a light and not a shadow, meaning, throw that light out there so that others can their paths can be illuminated, if you will, and they can see the way clear to be a part of what's going on here at the college, learn for themselves, and improve their social mobility. So cast light and not shadows be the last one.
There's a lot of great responsibility with our student leaders and our student ambassadors. Thank you for that, Dr. Johnson. Mr. Parrish, as the president of the JCC Foundation Board of Directors, can you share with us how the Student Ambassador Program promotes the efforts of JCC Foundation and the college?
Sure. Our JCC Foundation mission is partnerships and resources for educational opportunities. The student ambassadors play an integral role in our mission. They support our fundraising and recognition events each year by volunteering to assist the foundation in making these events memorable and successful. The result of these events provide scholarships and faculty development opportunities, further the education of our students and faculty here at JCC. The ambassadors then share their experiences on how opportunity has impacted their awareness of giving back to others in succeeding in achieving their career goals. The student ambassador involvement with the JCC Foundation and college is truly an amazing partnership, and we're proud to have it.
They do an amazing job. Thank you for highlighting that, Mr. Parrish. I want to talk to our student ambassadors now. So Hunter, this is your first year. Tell us a little bit about your experience as an ambassador.
Sure. So much like everyone else's experience in all aspects of life this year due to COVID-19, there's been an adjustment and a learning curve, but I'm proud to say that I'm confident I have met the mark more than adequately. Regarding the ambassador program in particular, this has been my first year being a JCC ambassador, as Ms. LaShondra just mentioned. And I must say I'm very grateful that I was accepted to be a part of this awesome program. I've had several opportunities to better several attributes about myself, including my leadership abilities, I guess, as well as my communication skills. And during my month of service in October, it was a privilege to serve the JCC Foundation by writing letters to our gracious scholarship donors. And I've been able to take part in this and much more, and I look forward to all the other activities we ambassadors get to participate in for the remainder of this term.
There's a lot more to look forward to, Hunter, and we appreciate all that you've done thus far. Andria, I would love for you to tell us about your experience so far.
Yes, ma'am. I've thoroughly enjoyed my experience as an ambassador this past semester. I've loved being able to serve our community and get to know the people that make up our community, as well as getting to know my fellow ambassadors better. I've enjoyed learning about their future endeavors, as well as how their endeavors are similar to mine as well. November is actually my month to serve in the foundation office, so I'm looking forward to the rest of this month, as well as next semester and what next semester has to come.
Great. I'm sure we have plenty for you to do, and we'll love to have you. Mr. Wynn, can you tell us a little bit about your experience as a student ambassador when you were a student here?
Sure. Thank you, LaShondra. So when I think back on my ambassador experience, one of the first things I think about is going through the interview panel and kind of learning to sell my assets and what kind of contribution I can make to the team. And when I go through interviews now at work, not only preparing for job interviews, but interviewing others, I often think about that first experience. So that was one of my first real world experiences in having that. Some other things I think about is I still have close friends when I was in the ambassador program, not only on a personal level, but some in my industry. And we often collaborate and share ideas. And we go back to those times we had in the ambassador program. So I would say that it really sets you up for lifelong friendships, not only personally, but professionally. And one of my favorite things is I was involved with the golf tournament that we have annually, which will be coming up on our 27th year, I believe. So I went from participating in the golf tournament to when I was an ambassador, actually helping with the golf tournament, later on being on the committee, and now I actually lead that committee. So all that's kind of come full circle for me. And when we have that event every year, it makes me really proud to see that the ambassadors are still a part of that tournament. And it really helps drive our scholarships and fundraising for the year.
And that's some amazing work that our ambassadors do, but also to you, Will, our tournament every year is tremendous. So thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Now, Miriam, you were also a student ambassador. Can you share a little bit about your student experience?
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Hey everyone, I was an ambassador in 2016, and one of the biggest things that I learned from the ambassador program was it was just an introduction to leadership. I really had never been in a leadership role beyond, before that, or never considered myself being a leader. So being a part of the ambassador program really boosted my confidence and showed me that I could be a leader in the community and in the college. So that in itself was amazing for myself, and looking back now, it has really, really helped me out. Really gives me the feeling that I started that foundation when I was at the community college, and didn't even know it then. Same thing as well. I've built friendships and relationships with the other people in the program that were with me that I still have to this day. And that has really, really helped me out a lot in learning the importance of networking. And just to go a little bit more on the golf tournament that Will was talking about, it was just an awesome opportunity to give back to the donors by volunteering my time. And it was also a lot of fun. I remember the golf tournament vividly, and just having a good time with my fellow ambassador people. And also, I think it was a great opportunity for us to network with the local business leaders in our community.
That's amazing. And now, Miriam, you're continuously serving JCC, just like Will. You still have that foot in the door here. You always be family here. You always be part of the Jaguar family. And we just appreciate your support now on our JCC Alumni Association Executive Committee.
Yes.
So, Hunter, tell us about some ways that you've seen excellent leadership displayed. Talk about how that has impacted the way that you live and lead in your life now.
Sure. So I have seen excellent leadership qualities exemplified by all members and staff of the ambassador program. But if I had to list a particular instance that stuck out to me, I would probably mention the golf tournament fundraiser held for our donors. This was actually my first time ever being on a golf course. So that, along with having the opportunity to serve, as well as seeing how my peers and other JCC staff served one another, was all very encouraging and helped reinforce my belief that the ambassador program is an excellent mode for not only learning better leadership skills for yourself, but also viewing them in everyone around you.
Great. I'm glad you enjoyed that experience. It was a wonderful day. We invite everyone to participate in that annual event. Andria, tell me about someone or something that has been a motivating force in your life to help you pursue leadership opportunities.
Yes, ma'am. So my parents, but it's mostly my mom, has been a really big motivating force and huge impact on my life and my leadership opportunities as well. She's been an entrepreneur for about 10 years now, and I've witnessed years of her hardships and obstacles getting in the way of her business, and now seeing her flourish and succeed is a very, very inspiring thing to see.
That's wonderful. Mr. Parrish, talk to us about some important things for you to demonstrate as a leader. You lead various groups, but what are some things that stand out to you most that you find important to demonstrate?
Sure. Thank you, LaShondra. I believe that a leader should be honest, trustworthy, ethical, humble, and positive. I also believe a leader should lead by example and pose a clear vision. A leader should listen, demonstrate compassion, and provide support to meet team goals and accomplishments. I want people to feel comfortable in being able to approach me to discuss ideas or decisions. Most importantly, I believe a leader should never stop learning. And at Johnston Community College, this opportunity is offered each and every day.
That's amazing. And I can truly say that you demonstrate those qualities. And our leaders here, Dr. Wells demonstrates that with our foundation here and all of our staff, and Dr. Johnston. And we just appreciate you all taking those qualities so close to heart to be able to demonstrate that for each of us here and our students. Dr. Johnston, just kind of speaking on that a little bit more, what are some key things that you implement in your leadership style to influence students and the employees that you lead?
Okay, thank you, LaShondra. John stole my answer, so John, just say what you said again, and I think we'll be good to go. But one of the things I thought about, in addition to what John was saying, is this attitude of the fruits of the Spirit. You know, I think back to my early childhood and Sunday school days, and we learned the fruits of the Spirit. If you were to take that out of the context of the biblical scripture, it would apply so readily to leadership. There are 9 fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness. And then I have to rethink. Faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And if you think about that, all of those concepts, if you will, or words, inform leadership inside and out. John mentioned humility and honesty and integrity. If I can't trust a leader, I cannot follow him or her. So that trust factor has got to be there. And, you know, we don't talk enough about love, and that was the first word in that string of fruits was love. And I don't know why. I think maybe it's just a hard word to talk about. It may be a little bit embarrassing or whatever, but I look for people who enjoy being with people, loving people. John Maxwell says we as leaders have to love them up. And that doesn't mean just love them up, but to love them up into what they need to be and become. And so love, I think, needs to emphasize how you feel about, not how you feel about others, but how you behave with and for them. Because it's about people. Leadership is about people. It's students first, people first, and how can I add value? One of the other things that I aspire to is being prepared at all times. I can only wing something for so long, and then it begins to tell. So I have to be prepared in all aspects of leadership. Loyalty to our vision and our mission. What kind of leader would I be if I were not loyal to JCC? And I look for that loyal behavior in employees and students as well. I know I'm going on too long, but there are a couple more things I want to add. I feel like a leader needs to be objective. And I say that especially after we've come through this trying political season where we have seen the far left and the far right and the decisions they are entrenched in and think about. Well, being an objective leader puts us somewhere in the middle. And that, to me, is where the best decisions are made. We take a little bit of the left and we take a little bit of the right, and we try to come together to make the best decision on behalf of the college. So objectivity is really important. And another thing Maxwell said was being a working together leader. We as leaders can't do this alone. If we could, we wouldn't need anybody else around. We'd just do it. But Maxwell says be a working together leader. And that reminded me of I think it was an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, then go alone. But if you want to go far, then you go together. That's being a working together leader. And that's what I look for.
Amazing, Dr. Johnston and Mr. Parrish. We appreciate that. I know I'm learning so much in this session today, and I hope you all are. I definitely will write those things down, kind of concentrate on some of the things you all talked about today. Miriam, you have served in leadership roles, no matter how great or small. But when you were an ambassador as a student, talk about the number one thing that you learned that you now have taken into your roles in serving in leadership and in the roles that you serve in today.
Yeah, of course. So I thought about this for a little bit, and the one thing that I always try to keep with me, no matter what I do. Now I do insurance. I'm an insurance agent, and insurance is all about sales, but it's also about service and giving back to my community. Honestly, if it was just about sales and just about money, like, I probably would not last in this role a long time, because that's not what keeps me happy and what keeps my purpose and my passion fueled. And I think I saw that, and learned that whenever I was an ambassador. Like I talked before, we volunteered in the community college. We were involved, really deeply involved in giving back to organizations, of our choice. And I learned the importance of giving back to my community whenever I was an ambassador. And now that I am a working woman and, am, not a student anymore, I still try to, take those roles and those lessons that I learned as an ambassador in my current job. So the importance of service and the importance of giving back to the community, and being a role model to everyone that I can touch, is something that I hold near and dear to me, and another reason for just keeping going. So that's what I learned from the ambassador program that I now take into my current job.
Awesome. And Mr. Nguyen, so as you progressed and reached great success in your career, what key concepts did you learn as an ambassador that's helped you promote yourself along your journey?
Sure. Thank you, LaShondra. So I think it's hard to narrow it down just to one. I think of a couple of things, and I'll kind of tag along to what Dr. Johnston said earlier a little bit. But I think about my time at JCC and being an ambassador, learning to work with people of all different backgrounds and cultures, and kind of elaborating on that. I think I really learned the importance of how to respectfully disagree with someone and see someone else's side of things, and to keep in mind that we're all trying to come together for a resolution for a common problem, not just to disagree, but try to see everyone's side of things and understand kind of their background and their culture, maybe where they're coming from with different ideas and suggestions. So in my industry and line of work, that is something that we deal with daily. And I take my time as an ambassador and those experiences learned with me every day, not only when I travel from site to site, and maybe now not traveling outside of the country due to COVID, but our WebExes and phone calls with our clients in different countries. So I really take that with me every day.
Great stuff. Great. And Nickie, as the advisor for the ambassadors program, you have a more direct role in leading the student ambassadors on a daily basis, and you get a closer look into their skill sets. If you can, just share with us how you are leading the ambassadors in developing the skills they need to lead from where they are now as students and where they hope to go in the future.
Well, one of the things that we try to do with the program is we want to give our students the chance to grow. And that normally comes through things that are a little bit challenging and maybe not the most comfortable. I'll give you an example. We started the year with a team building exercise out at our Howell Woods campus. And the day started out, and we had 13 strangers, and we had to work together. And the day included things like kayaking. We had to build things together, and we worked together. And these ambassadors started out as strangers, but through the course of the day, they became a team. And I've seen that teamwork grow. Dr. Johnson referenced John Maxwell, and we are currently going through a John Maxwell book. And one of the things that we're learning is that leadership is all about influence. And I hope that our ambassadors realize that even though we have a lot of different interests and we have a lot of different strengths, every one of our ambassadors is a leader in their own sense, and they have influence in their spheres wherever they're going to be. And I hope that the chance to help at donor appreciation and to give a welcome speech or to help at graduation, the things that they're going to be involved, they're going to see what they're capable of. And then when they move forward, whether it be into a career, whether it's onto a four-year university, they're going to know that they are capable of things that may make them afraid, that they won't feel hindered, but they'll take what they've learned here, the experiences they've had, and they'll implement them in a variety of different ways that will just enrich their lives.
Nickie, or LaShondra, can I jump back in right fast? Nickie mentioned my favorite word when it comes to defining leadership, and that is influence. And it comes down to the fact that we've got to understand that we cannot do anything to change people, but we can do lots to influence those people. And that's what a good leader does, is influences in order to make those decisions.
And I want to add to one thing to that. It took me a while to see myself as a leader, because no one will ever define me as what a typical leader looks like, because I'm very much, I like to be more behind the scenes, but everybody really is a leader in their own world. Everybody has people that they influence. And when you can lead your life with integrity, with authenticity, when you're honest and open, that's going to make you a leader in every area of your life. And our ambassadors, they prove that, they show that, even though they may not define it as such, that they exemplify that in so many ways. And I hope that's the purpose of our program, is to refine that and to encourage that and to see that grow as they grow as people.
And Nickie, I have seen them grow in their leadership skills based on the influence that you provide to them. I've grown in my leadership skills from the influence that you provide to me. But also, as we're talking about these quotes, one of my mentors told me that if no one is following you, you're just walking. So you have to have influence in order for people to want to follow you. And I believe everybody here exemplifies that, and our student ambassadors really demonstrate that they're picking up those tools that and nuggets that everyone is dropping in those skill sets. So thank you so much for your leadership in your role in helping to mold them a little bit more directly on a day-to-day basis. Andria, can you tell us, in all this shaping and molding, what it has meant to you to be part of this program, along with being a recipient of a scholarship that was actually funded by private donor support?
Yes, ma'am. Being a part of this program means a lot to me in the first place, because throughout high school, most of the groups of student leaders that I've seen were lacking representation of minorities. So being in this group with an amazing, diverse group of people as ambassadors, it means a lot to me that I'm a part of this group, and that this group is a lot, it represents a lot more of people that look like me than my high school did. So that means a lot to me. I'm also very grateful to be a scholarship recipient, especially during this time, because not everything that I've gone through in the past couple of months has been the best. My dad is still currently unemployed, and my sister will be graduating next year. So the scholarship that I'm lucky enough to receive will definitely help not only me, but my family as well.
Amazing. Hunter, how has your life been impacted by the scholarship that you received since becoming a member of the Student Ambassadors Program?
Thank you. My life has been greatly impacted by the immense privilege of being a recipient of the JCC Foundation Scholarship. I grew up in a one-parent home and have always watched my mother struggle financially and my siblings struggle in school. And this in turn has motivated me to want to strive for academic excellence, because I believe learning and peeling back the layers of ignorance is one of the greatest things people can do, not just for themselves, but for others as well. And as someone who desires to continue on in higher education eventually, this scholarship has taken a great load off of not just my back, but also my family's back as well, because otherwise they would be the ones who would be struggling to support me in my goals for academic success. So I cannot overstate my gratitude enough, and I'm happy to do anything I can to further show our financial donors my personal support.
Thank you so much for your gratitude, and we want to give a sincere thank you and recognize our donors and all of our supporters here at JCC for not only the opportunities they provide to the students, but to our employees, the things that we're able to do, the programs that we're able to have here at JCC. But Nickie, the student ambassadors just spoke a lot about how the support not only helped them, but their families. So if we had a parent who was interested in learning more about the ambassadors program for their student, or if students come to us and ask about the ambassadors program, tell us how we can find out more information.
So there is a website that we have that addresses almost any question you could have about the ambassador program. It can be reached at www.johnstoncc.edu/ambassadors. Any student that is coming to JCC that plans to be full-time and has a 3.0 GPA, I would encourage you to apply to the program. There is an application process that includes 2 letters of recommendation and an interview. And everyone who meets the criteria is granted an interview. And I would just really encourage anyone that has any questions or interest in the program to reach out. My contact information is there as well. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Nickie. We do love when we have students who come in and who are here to serve and who are willing to help. And we love having them in our office. And we're just so grateful to have such a wonderful student ambassadors program with phenomenal student leaders serving as representatives to JCC. All thanks to our generous donors, too, to be able to provide that scholarship for them to be able to come to JCC to get their education and further their goals. But before we conclude, I want to invite everyone to like our Johnston Community College Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can learn more about our students and some of our alumni stories. You can also visit us at www.johnstoncc.edu for the latest information about JCC and our upcoming events and opportunities to build a supportive partnership with JCC as well. If there's no other further comments from the panel, I want to say thank you again for joining us today for our Johnston Community College Closer Look podcast. Take care.